Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Welcome back. And the second phase of the video, second episode, the session is about SBR orientation for June 23 exams. For June 23 exams. So, this part of the video, that's a detail about something, the syllabus areas. A quick briefing of the syllabus areas. Candidates, number one, you have to develop your mindset. Number one, the first area that's about the accounting standards, and that's reflect almost the 60% of the syllabus, 60 to 65%. And you have to develop your mindset that accounting standard, that's you can classify the accounting standard for a preparation into four parts. Number one, accounting standards about group accounts. Number two, the extensive accounting standard. Number three, less extensive accounting standard. Number four, prior knowledge accounting standard. So you can classify the accounting standard with these categories. Number one, you can enter your preparation with the group accounts. It's your wish. So for group accounts, these 6 standards you have to cover. Number one. Number two, other than group accounts, you can split the accounting standard in following ways. The first thing is the most extensive accounting standards. Most extensive means which having more material, more more time consuming and so on. That is most extensive standard: financial instrument, taxation, employee benefits, share-based payments, leasing, revenue. These 6 accounting standards are very extensive, very time consuming. So you have to split your time accordingly to cover the things. Then less extensive accounting standards. Less extensive means the standards you will just study or you just face with SBR only. But these are less extensive. IAS 24, 34, IFRS 8, IFRS 13, IFRS 1, IFRS for SME. Not more than 7 to 8 hours to cover these 6 standards. And of course, your prior knowledge FR and F3 related accounting standards. These standards. Do remember, the prior knowledge accounting standard 36, 38, 16, 12, whatever, all are still important with SBR. You cannot say that these are prior knowledge standard, so already examined with the F7, not relevant for SBR. No way. Every accounting standard is important. In the last March 23 exam, examiner examined a very comprehensive question related to IFRS 8. That's about less extensive standard. I don't know exactly the marks, but examiner examined in a very extensive mode. With the past paper, examiner examined IAS 38 in very depth. Collard question, that's 12 to 13 marks. So each standards has their own relevance. So there is no small or big, कोई छोटा बड़ा standard नहीं होता. Every standard has its own relevance. Every standard, there is nothing about small or bigger standard. Every standard has their caliber to examine by SBR. So number one, the syllabus area, that's called the accounting standard. What examiner expect about the exam standards? What examiner expect? Examiner expect explain the accounting principle behind the calculations. Whatever the knowledge you have about the accounting standard, by the end, whenever you are covering any accounting standard, for example, you purchase a course and you are doing preparation from anywhere, for example, you have covered IAS 36, you have covered IAS 19. So after each standard, ask yourself, am I able to attempt the calculation? Number one. Number two, am I able to explain this accounting principles. If your inner says that no, there is some disturbance, some garbada, some disturbance, you have to attempt you have to prepare your things with the drafting techniques as well. But mark my words, drafting technique, if you haven't started till now, it's difficult. But once you start your drafting technique, you will be able to cover the things accordingly. You will enjoy the things accordingly, in fact. Examiner expect that candidates has to demonstrate. Example of British Airways with the first part of this video of this episode, orientation session. British Airways, you are an accountant. Demonstrate your skills, how to deal with the real business issue. Transaction or real business issue, you have to apply the concepts. So this is what about the accounting standard approach you have to develop with respect to your mindset. So develop your mindset in a right way. Number 2, conceptual framework. I am not here to discuss in depth about the conceptual framework, except the very important thing, you people normally with respect to previous studies, the FR, F3, this topic you people normally consider very in a very leniency. You just taken a very for granted. But with this syllabus area, examiner particularly mentioned that these are not my statements. These are just copy paste from the examiner statements. To pass this exam, candidates required in-depth knowledge of the conceptual framework. By the way, for your syllabus, the latest 2018 conceptual framework is relevant. 2018 conceptual framework, that's relevant. So this is very important. Huh? So I have prepared a very comprehensive document about conceptual framework, and my lecture will also cover this conceptual framework issues. Do remember, conceptual framework is independent important. But what I personally suggest to all my students, first you have to read the conceptual framework from your study material, and you have to prepare conceptual framework simultaneously in your preparation. Not consider that conceptual framework is one single topic we will cover at the end of the syllabus. Rather than read it now from the book or from a study material, and over the period of time attempting the past paper and practicing the involvement of conceptual framework with the questions. So conceptual framework you have to prepare during your studies rather than at the end of the syllabus areas. That's important. Number 3, third syllabus area, ethics. Ethics examine with a particular question. That is the question 2 of the SBR. And this is not about the ethics, something the F8 or F4. This is about if in a real business world, we accountant face some ethical issue, how to deal that matter. For example, you have appointed in a company as a junior accountant, and I'm your senior. I am also a qualified accountant. You are also a qualified accountant, but I'm a senior person. You have observed from you just appointed now, and after 15 days, you just observe that there is something fishy. There is something wrong that's going on with applying the accounting standard, and the senior manager, that me, actually manipulating the accounts by deliberately wrongly applying the accounting standard to exaggerate the profits. So there are two things. Number 1, you must have to aware that what technically I'm doing wrong, that what wrong accounting standards I'm applying. For example, IAS 37, IAS 19, whatever. Number 2, the second thing, what ethical implications with respect to this scenario: compromising ACCA code of conducts and threatening some principles, threatening the self-interest, compromising integrity. So actually here the connection is about accounting issues connect with ethical matter. So this is what, like this, an extract of the question. For example, September 18, a question of 20 marks, requirement A, that is about property accounting issue. B, IFRS 15, but C here, ethical issue, 7 marks. Ethical issue, 7 marks. So that's about the ethics to deal. So ethics is also the part of the syllabus area, and it's indulged with the question. So you, once again, accounting standard, then conceptual framework, then ethics, you need to work out simultaneously. Sir, what is this 2 marks? 2 professional marks, professional. There are 4 professional marks in SBR, 4 professional marks. 2 marks with ethics and 2 marks for investor perspective. 4 marks. I personally suggest these are free marks. You just practicing the question and easily handle this. 4th area of the syllabus, that is performance measurement. Performance measurement means some syllabus areas 12 to 15% about to cover the things not with respect to accountant but with respect to user of the financial statement. User of the financial statement. If I ask that, which term the more broader, financial reporting or business reporting? Which term is more broader, financial reporting or business reporting? Business reporting is a wider, is a broader term. So, number 2, investor. If you are an investor and you invest money in my company, what do you expect? Just financial reporting or a complete business reporting? You just wanted to get financial reporting or comprehensive complete business reporting? Yes, of course, you not just focus the financial reporting but also about some broader area of business reporting. For example, you invested a money in a company. You invested a money in a company and you become the shareholder. And I have done a very good, me as a management have performed very good. And the income statement shows a good profit. That is financial reporting. But you, the investor, the shareholder, observed and just read in a newspaper that I am not obeying the environmental pollution criteria mentioned by the government. And government has decided to penalize me the millions of dollars and even forcefully shutting down the business because I am creating, my industries are creating too much pollution. Just reply me. If my current financial statement profit is very healthy and you have observed this issue in the newspaper about environmental pollution, is this relevant for you? Yes or no? Is this news relevant for you? Yes or no? Yes, this is important news for you because now you have a concern about the sustainability of the business. Sustainability of the business. If government has decided to make some penalization, and even forcefully shut down the business. That is the question mark about the sustainability. So you can ask me as a company management what you are doing to cover this issue about the environmental pollution you are creating. Give us some report that you are having some counter strategy to continue your business accordingly. But this point, the sustainable aspects expectation, it's not about the financial reporting. It's more about financial reporting. This paper is not only about financial reporting, but investor expecting more than financial reporting in a broader term with the context of the reporting of complete business. And this thing you need to consider. This is examiner statement. This is not my part. SBR examine will require candidates to adopt stakeholder and investor focus in answering some question. But what I personally suggest, you don't need to start immediate this area of the syllabus. First, you have to start with the accounting standard. Then, after some time, a week or 2 weeks, you have to add on the ethics matter. And after some time, adding on conceptual framework. And after some time, after 4 or 5 weeks, adding on the performance measurement aspects. This is what the right way to develop the strategy. Do remember this performance measurement. It's not about the F7 type things. That's ratios and interpretation. That is more than that. What are detailed insights we will cover with the syllabus part. Last point. Yes, the current development. Yes, the current development. Current development aspect, it's also very much important. It's also very much important for the syllabus areas. What are the current development matters? Current development matters. What includes current development? Current developments are a lot of real business situations examine with multiple past papers. For example, the pandemic issues. For example, the climate change. For example, the Bitcoin. Let's say the pandemic. Due to the reason of the pandemic that affect to the industries and the business. So the relevant standard may be the impairment aspect. Can you please reply me yes or no? The impairment aspect. The indication about the impairment. So this is what about the current real scenario. The current real scenario. So current development and what's the role as an accountant to cover the things with the accounting standard. For example, the new trading issues that's called the Bitcoin or the cryptocurrency. So if Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is a part, how to account for? Examiner examine the current development aspects and you expecting that you people have a knowledge about how to deal the current development issues with the exam. But do remember that examiner only expect that you have a basic knowledge, not required in-depth knowledge about the current development. So current development issues, you can categorize the current development in two parts. Some typical current development issues you can cover with the last month, not the last week, with the last month. Number one, some of the current development, whenever you are attempting the past paper, so automatically it's indulged within the past paper. It's indulged within the past paper. So what inside the current development matters, you can coordinate me with respect to my lectures accordingly, or you can cover with the current development lectures. Okay, this is what about the syllabus area. So with this video, we covered initially the syllabus contents areas. Number one, in totality, what we have covered till now. What we have covered till now. Number one, syllabus areas with the weightage, examiner expectation with the statements of the examiner, total syllabus areas. Now, what SBR exam format? Number one, for June 2023 exam format, there will be no change. Not even after June 23. After June 23, what will happen? I will make another video accordingly. But believe me, there will be no mega change, not even the exam format. Okay, so in here, June 23, what the exam format till now exists. Number one, the section A, section B. There are two sections. Section A, 30 marks question. Question number one, 30 marks. Section A, question number 2, 20 marks. Section B, question number 3, 25 marks. Section B, question number 4, 25 marks. So I can say section A, 30 marks, first question 30 marks, second question 20 marks, and section B, 25 marks, two questions. What inside these questions? Number one, with section A, 30 marks question is group accounts and add on more things. With 30 marks question, majority marks belongs to group accounts, 20 marks, 22, 23 marks. And rest 6, 7 or 8 marks related to other syllabus areas. Okay, section A, 20 marks, question to 20 marks, ethics and more. The question of 20 marks, the ethical issue, maximum 7 to 8 marks. Maximum 7 marks or 8 marks. Rest of the 12 to 3 marks related to accounting issues and other syllabus areas. Ethics only examine with section A, question 2. Ethics will not examine anywhere else. So I can say section A, to some extent it's structured, but the section B is total unstructured. Unstructured, it's examiner examine 25 marks, 2 question. It's about IAS, it's about anything, any about the IAS, IFRS, it's performance measurement, it's current developments, anything else. IAS, IFRS, performance measurement, current development, anything. This is the format of the question, format of the SBR. Next, if you are starting your SBR preparation, the highest motivation is that the passing rate of SBR is average 50%. Since September 12th, since September 18th, since the beginning of this paper, the highest motivation is that the chances of passing, it's 50%. Yes, I agree, syllabus is extensive. Yes. Difficult to prepare, yes, but easy to pass. Easy to pass. Even you are deadly engaged. Even you are deadly engaged with the job engagements, with the jobs, working environment. Believe me, if you committed to start your preparation, sometimes less, sometimes more, and put your best effort at last month of the exam, you will be able to qualify this exam. Preparation is difficult, yes. Once you develop the right track, developing the right track is difficult. Once you develop the right track and then move on towards the right journey, you will really enjoy the things. Developing the right track is difficult, but passing the exam, it's not much difficult. 50%. Even this is not the passing rate of F7, F9, F8. One of the highest percentage of the passing. This is the highest motivation for all of you. The SBR passing rate, SBR passing rate. It's average 50%. That's a point. Moreover, you don't need any kind of revision cut. Mark my word, any kind of revision cut you don't need. These past paper with the CB format, 13 past papers with the CB format available, and these are revision cut. 13 past paper, that's more than enough. 13 September till September 18 till September December 22. You have 13 exam, 11 pass exam, 2 specimen exam. That's all. 13 multiplied by 4. 52 questions. For ethics, 13 questions. For group account, 13 questions. For section B, 26 questions. These are more than enough. These are more than enough. You just start your preparation. Yes, I must say, you must have to start your preparation of the knowledge-based videos and all these things. Plus, simultaneously start the preparation of the past papers. That's an important point. Okay, with my side, how to handle the things. You people already have the access of the regular course. So first of all, make a good commitment with the roadmap I have given to you. The roadmap I have given to you about the regular course. You have to cover the things accordingly. Sir, what roadmap? Just a moment. This roadmap already available to you for June 23 exams. These roadmaps, these are the targets I have mentioned here. You have to strictly committed with the targets. The first target is going on about the 37 and the 19. You have to cover the things. And whatever the roadmap includes some practice question, you have to email me with SBR by hussainkazi@gmail.com. We will regularly meet with the weekends. Initially once in a weekend. Subsequently, after a month after the result, we will meet twice a weekend. So, number one, you have to cover first the regular course. Then you will get access the question practice course. First, be committed to cover the regular course. Then move towards the question practice course. You have to participate the live weekend sessions. You have the premium notes to cover the things. Sometimes I cover with some suggested answer for the key topics. Some past paper I will give you the exam student caliber suggested answer. Assignments, feedbacks, mock exam, smart exam technique, WhatsApp, be active with the WhatsApp. And all these things combined equals to the success of the SBR exam, inshallah. Inshallah. That is the point. The important point is that is what about the steps for the solution. for the success. 4 steps. Number 1, getting the knowledge from the lectures, getting and exam techniques. Then you have to self-attempt and get the feedbacks. Getting the knowledge from the lectures and exam techniques that we are giving to you. You have to self-attempt and get the feedbacks. Revise the sessions, mock exam, that's equals to success. Your schedule. You have 11 weeks from now. 11 weeks from now. 11 weeks. Your preparation must be split into 7 weeks. You have to determine how much time you have spare. You can spare for the for 11 weeks, week wise. What I personally suggest, if you spend 12 to 15 hours per week, 12 to 15 hours per week, and last month 15 to 20 hours per week, you will be able to qualify your exam. So split your time accordingly. I will cover 7 weeks for preparation, 2 weeks with me, the question practice sessions. I will conduct the question practice session live, 2 weeks live, 7 to 8 classes at the last month. And then revision and your mock with the last 2 weeks. You make revision for last 2 weeks and attempt the mock exam. I will provide the debriefing of the mock. This is what about the roadmap towards the success. But whatever I have suggested to you previously, the weightage of the exam, the syllabus content, do it accordingly. Making your schedule or manage your schedule with the premium videos, if you are taking online course, assignments, weekend classes. That's all. That's all. This is what about the complete direction I have provided to you. Now, this is the end of the second phase of this episode, the orientation session. The last part is about a practice question to develop your mindset. So thank you for this part of the video and wait for the next video. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.